Hey, it is Naima Singletary here, advisor to emerging visionaries who are born and coded with a vision to be infused into their business that will change consciousness, um, uh, uh, increase, rapidly evolve consciousness, change an industry, a culture, the lens through which customers, clients, people through which they look. And I'm here to bring those people into pure power, inhabiting pure power. And I have such an exciting announcement to share today. I'm going to share toward the end of our time here together today. And I feel so blessed. You and I are so blessed. Those of us who walk through the door, oh God, who recommit time and time again, because this path is difficult and you will be tested repeatedly. And I have a situation that was one of the best and one of the worst things that happened to me. Remember, I said that everything is happening for us and not to us. And we are so blessed to be alive now, to bring forth that which we have been born with, that nobody can teach us, but that can be awakened, that already rests within us. I found out about a book just yesterday. So today's topic, first of all, today's topic is the responsibility of you, the class of the powerful and the protected. So let me talk, okay, about what I mean when I say the powerful and the protected class. You know, typically when I hear people talk about the powerful and the protected class, they're talking about wealthy white men. Wealthy white men are protected inside of an existing system that is rooted in sand, built on sand. There's nothing about it that's rooted in truth. There's nothing about it that's rooted in infinite intelligence. There's nothing rooted in it that is of high service for the world at large, for people at large. It's totally rooted on deception and falsehoods and illusions, and division and lies and corruption. So the powerful and protected class of wealthy white men is rooted in something that will inevitably fall. Inevitably. And the powerful and the protected class that I'm talking about is those of us who are living from rooted truth. This is the kind of power that so many women are like, I'm scared of my power, because there is such uncontrollable, rapid force. And I don't mean the kind of force where you're pushing and trying to make something. I mean where a person is being held by the speed of truth. So you give yourself, you and I, as folks among the powerful and protected class. And remember, this is because you have walked through the door, you have said yes, and you have declared the power that you are. So you do not get these benefits or responsibility when you are, I'm afraid of my power, and still playing small and allowing yourself to dwell in lower nature environments and circumstances, and being dragged by doubt and fear, because it's not like you don't have it once you walk through the door, but you're able to deal with it and engage with it in a higher way. So the power here, the speed of, when you walk into your place and you really sit in the seat of the place that you were born to be in. There's nothing made up about this. There's nothing, you're not trying, you're not forcing, you're not like hoping. It's none of that. You are literally taking the seat, the throne of the place you were born to be in. Jesus Christ. First of all, what a relief. And then you are held and protected in a way that other people, one, are not, and two, will never understand. So, the responsibility part. Now, this is a large conversation. This is a large way of being, and it is so important to be among people who have already walked the door, who have already proven that they are among this class. No one endows you with this. This is something that you come to know of yourself. Oh God, I'm so grateful. So I have shared with you about the experiences that occur in you and I's lives, that for those of us who have not been trained and are unaware of who we are and who have a kindergarten level lens through which we see things, we will see that conditions that we end up in, events that happen in our life, we will look at them as happening to us. And that when you look at things through that immature lens, oh, this is happening to me, look at what's happening to me, that sends you down a spiral of victimhood where there's no power, where you can't get out of it. You feel like you're sucked into, you feel like you're thrown around by the universe with absolutely no influence, no power. Versus having the mature lens that sees and absolutely knows without question that everything is happening for you. And so prior to my really claiming, because there's such a reclamation, this is what I'm here for. Those of you who will come in closer to me beyond just watching me on the video, those of you who will be working intimately with me, those of you who will be taking advantage of the invitation that I will be sharing at the end of our time together today, those of you who will also come and work with me in the year-long, remember I talked about this on Monday, the year-long experience for 3 people. Those of you who come in closer and work with me intimately, this reclamation and deepening into this reclamation of who you are so that it becomes such an ease for you to make large amounts of money. You were born to make large amounts of money. Your vision has the frequency of large amounts of money. And then you learning how to navigate everything going on in this lower nature hum of this normal world. I've talked about the hum of the normal world. And then here you come, this powerful coded being who's highly perceptive, who practices high discernment and stands erect in knowing who you are. And this is a big part of the work that we work in. You knowing who you are and practicing living in the standards every single day of you being you among the powerful protected class, the blessed few that I talked about on Wednesday. So that you're then able to come out into the world and navigate it powerfully. So you start to create results and get yourself specifically only in the predicaments, in the conditions, with the people that are in the path for the vision that you are here to bring to real life. So before my heart is exploding with power right now. See, when you're among the powerful and protected class, truly, You have so much to give. You care so much. And you probably were like me, you struggled for so long because what happened is you were trying to give, forgetting that you need to receive as well. You were showing up to this, you were helping with that, you were, right? I remember I used to be on the phone with people for hours and not getting paid and not asking for money. Like really feeling like I was doing the right thing, a good thing. I was really like, and then part of it was like, I want to be a good person. Like I want people to know that I'm really here to help. And so I remember being so frustrated because I'm on the phone with people for hours and I'm struggling to pay my rent. That was my reality once upon a time. It's like I'm over here trying and I'm struggling to pay my rent. Like if you're resonating with me and you're watching this live or you're watching this as a replay, holler if you hear me. Make a comment. Let me know. And most excitedly, when you know that this is the place for you to be and for us to work together away from this video and in real life, doing the real intimate work of really bringing you into the power where you create millions. I keep saying large amounts of money. What does that even mean? Right? Large amount could be 50,000 for one person and 50,000 could be nothing to another person, right? Millions. And I'm going to talk, I'm making a mental note now to talk about the work, the important work, okay, toward the end of our time here together today. So there was this client that I was working with, and I saw so much potential in this woman. And remember I told you that when I was sleeping in my car, back when I was building that fashion marketing company in Texas, much of what I speak now, I knew then. But I had not cultivated the internal personal power that I'm talking about here. I had not declared and really claimed who I am. So there was a way that I could not show up in life. There was a way that I could not speak, even though I knew. There was a way that I did not hold myself. I was unwilling to and didn't inhabit the pure power required to get on camera and speak, to get on actual stages and speak, to have powerful conversations with clients, to be able to hold standards in the face of all of the opposition. I was unable to do that back then. And so the years of having the struggle and being tested again and again and again, like I told you in the beginning of today, that you will be tested again and again and again so that you can rightfully and will have actually earned your position to be among the powerful and protected class, because you cannot get there without proving to the laws that govern this place that you are fit to be among this class. And so back when I was working with this client, okay, and I saw possibility in her. Now, see, this is the part of me that is highly, there's a word, idealistic. There's a part of me that's very idealistic, that sees the good in everybody and everything, that chooses to see everything in highness, you know, even when lowness is showing itself. And so this is the lens through which I was looking at this person. Not only that, I had not really declared my position as the blessed few. When I say declared it, I don't mean just knowing it, but living it in all decisions, and most notably in the most delicate situations, because it's in those delicate situations, it's in those pivotal situations where your high discernment and high decision making and high standards have the ability to have the greatest impact, good or bad. So when you are dealing with your clients and you are it is so required of you to hold high discernment, high decision making, high standards. And so this is a woman who invested $17,000 for us to work together over a 6-month period, okay? And I remember I bonused her with a VIP day in Napa. This was in California. I bonused her with a VIP day in Napa. I was so excited. Remember, I even talked about this the other day where I had become blinded by excitement because excitement feels so good. It's easy to be blinded by excitement. And when you're among the powerful and protected class, we cannot afford to be blinded by excitement. We can be excitement, and yet it is so essential that we lean back and into, right, what we know. Always. What we know. Now see, if you are unwilling, this is where the reclamation comes in. This is the work that you and I will be doing. This is the work that is required for you to do. And I know this because I have failed in this department countless times. I knew, but I was not practicing it. I had not declared and claimed my position as one of the blessed few, as among the powerful and protected class, because it's a huge responsibility. And as I said on Wednesday, the rewards, the large amounts of money that you will be rewarded with to fund your dreams, the quality of people who will show up in your world. You're going to be doing your marketing and your stuff, whatever it is that you do to allow people to find you. And the most people around the world who are the most lovely, ordained, perfect clients will come into your life, especially as you're holding and practicing the high wealth consciousness that you and I will practice. Oh, this is another game. So, having this knowing, not reclaiming my position, because I was born with this. I became disconnected from it, and my job has been to reclaim, and that's what I have done. So I brought this client in, and I broke so many of the standards that are required when you are working intimately with clients and doing powerful, transformative work. I broke so many standards, you guys. Oh my God, this is why. Like, remember I talked about on Saturday when the bottom of me fell out of me when I was in Milan. Because we cannot move like everybody else. We cannot think and speak and expect like everybody else. So I broke standards with her, like I would allow her to just contact me whenever. Even giving her so much without her showing herself, because just because somebody invests with you does not mean they're willing to do the work. They have to demonstrate through their behavior that they really are along the path that they said that they were committing to. And she paid $17,000 in full. So the untrained mind would think, oh, she paid $17,000. She must be serious. I have been doing this long enough and have collected hundreds of thousands of dollars long enough to know that people will give money because what they really want is they want you to save them. They think that they can pay enough money to not take responsibility for the sovereignty of their life. But the untrained mind will think that, oh, they paid, so they must be serious. No. So me wanting more for her than she wanted for herself, me not allowing her to prove, and this is not one of those, remember, separating ego out of this, because the ego is always present. Your high discernment will require for you to be able to separate the ego in your dealings with yourself and others. This is not about prove to me. No, this is about opening up the space so a person can lean into and stretch into the highness of who they are. You must hold the standard for your client, and you cannot do that for a client if you don't do it for yourself. This is why the reclamation is required of you, of me. The responsibility is required. It is non-negotiable. If somebody is going to pull out a credit card and invest $100,000 with you, invest $500,000, $1 million in bringing their vision to life, it's not just about the vision. See, this is what we will do behind the scenes. We will help you to be able to look at the truth of what's moving people. We are nuanced human beings. Everything is not binary. We are highly nuanced and we are highly intelligent beings. We are masters. And the degree to which you own this is the degree to which you call in other masters who are looking for someone to hold such an extreme value for them that they must meet and maintain in order to be in relationship with. Do you get this? It is required. And this is what makes you a part of the powerful and protected class. You cannot belong to this class if you are wanting someone to save you, if you are unwilling to hold the standards that are required among this class. This has zero to do with money and everything to do with energy. This is not about, oh, you make this. This is all about taking what you know that you know that you know and living it in all conditions. So I broke protocol, I broke standards with this person who had not proven herself. And she flipped. Because what happens is part of proving yourself means you are cultivating the skill of holding a standard. There is a practice, because what happens is, remember I say we are born endowed. We are born coded with this unique power. We're born with it. Then we go through this muggle, mediocre world in the families that we're born in the cultures of wherever it is that we live, the schools that we attend as children. And so year by year by year, from birth into adulthood, we are pulled further and further and further from the power that we are born as. And so what happens is, as we start to wake up in adulthood, we then have to refine and come back to the power that we were born as. But by this time, we've already gotten really good in the mediocre world. We've already gotten really good with living from fear versus living from truth and power. We've already gotten really good at living in doubt and second guessing versus living in what we know that we know that we know. We've already gotten used to questioning and scarcity consciousness versus the infinite intelligence and vastness of that which we are born as. So what happens is we end up creating all of these circumstances in our life to help us refine. Remember, I keep talking about this. To help us refine, to come back to who we originally are. And at the same time, we're living in a world with people who refuse to wake up. So here you are, when you choose Here you are waking up to the power that you were born as, living alongside those who refuse to wake up. This is why the individuation is important. This is why you being with people like me, working together, living together, cultivating together is critical, because these other people will make you the bad guy. They will name call you, make you the villain, etc., because they are refusing to really wake up. And this is what happened with this client who turned me into a villain. She paid this money and only went so far and stopped. She was not willing to come into this inhabiting pure power that I teach about here on every show, that I embody every single day. When you inhabit pure power, nobody can do anything to you, because you know that everything, every single thing, cancer, financial loss, abandonment, the most terrible things are happening for you and not to you. Can you imagine? I just want to take maybe a minute or two. Imagine you living with the knowing. I want you to really take this in and really think about this right now in this moment, that everything is happening to you, meaning how you live right now, the things that are most frustrating to you right now, the things that may have you depressed and, apathetic and feeling horrible are actually happening to you. That if you really knew that, and so with you knowing that, the kind of questions you would then ask, like, okay, so this is happening for me. So what am I to learn here? How is this calling me to shift to create better here? Versus, gosh, why is this happening to me? I can't believe this is happening to me. Now what? I don't know what to do. See, you see how the language even shifts when you think that this is happening to you? It's like, what am I supposed to do now? Why is this happening to me? I don't know what, right? Then you go into I don't know. When you do know. When you ask the question of highness, high thinking, high discernment, high expectation. And this is where you start to separate from all the normal people, more and more and more and more. And this is where it becomes more and more urgent, more and more urgent, more and more urgent. The less you are the truth of who you are, and the more you hang out with the normal people, the less urgent it is. And the more boring it is, you're out of power, you're away from your vision. And I've lived this, so I know what it looks like, and you probably have lived it too. Versus the more you really step into the power that you are, living daily the standards, being around those that quicken your manifestation abilities, those that quicken you finding solutions to perceived problems, those that quicken your ability to create and impact the world, the more you feel the urgency to be around those people, the more you feel the urgency to be aligned, to stay aligned. Do you see how you're in a powerful and protected class this way? Because then you start being governed by a different set of rules. For example, everybody else, they hang around whoever, they do whatever, because there's no standard. You, on the other hand, require that you are around people who think of a higher nature, who live of a higher nature, who are solution-oriented, who are clear about who they are. See, when you're among a class of people who are clear about who they are, there's never competition. There's never this, it's like, you feed me, I feed you. You know who you are, I know who I am, we know who each other is. It's iron sharpening iron. We are in the world, and we know that we're in the world, and we know that we're not of the world. You walk into a cafe or some kind of public place full of normal people, you know how they think, but they don't know how you think. You get things and they don't understand how you get the things that you get because they don't think the way that you think. They don't expect the way that you think. They don't move the way that you think. They don't move the way that you move. People who look through the lens of just color are so amazed that I, as a Black woman, has created the success that I've created. I'm not amazed at all, and I haven't even started. As far as I'm concerned, I've done nothing. And yet, I could read my resume off to people who would be like, wow. And I can see why at their level, and when I say level, I mean their level of thinking, why they would have such a wow to what it is that I've created. Now, I'm grateful. Don't be clear. I am grateful because there have certainly been countless, Lord have mercy, countless struggles and unnecessary suffering, and that could be debated, right? Oh, it was very necessary because then you were able to see clearly and like your knowing was refined, right? We could go back and forth about that. So, as I'm here now, I'm feeling so held. I'm telling you, this is the protection that I'm talking about. It's reserved for those of us who choose to be the responsible ones, because it's such a huge responsibility to be among this class, and the rewards are fabulous. So I am going to go into the invitation that I have. So first of all, I absolutely love Christmas. Let me tell you why I love Christmas. Excuse me. I love the spirit of Christmas. So many people slow down during Christmas time and start to think about others in ways that they perhaps did not during the rest of the year. And I have an invitation coming, so bear with me, okay? It is a beautiful, beautiful, so let me get to it. And I was just talking to my neighbor. She has a business here. I was just talking to her. I was at her shop, and I was telling her how much I love Christmas and how much I look forward to going home for Christmas, how much I look forward to have a VIP day with a client, this lovely, powerful young woman who's flying from Los Angeles up to San Francisco for she and I to have a VIP day together. And I was telling her how excited I am to come to California, and how I would love to have just all the details of it. And we were looking into arrangements for where we're going to host this VIP day for my client. And we are going to be at this prestigious, historic, opulent 5-star hotel on the hill of San Francisco. And I said, excuse me, if I'm seeming kind of orgasmic here. What's happening is on December 20th, next month, December 20th, I have reserved a suite at this 5-star, prestigious, opulent, oh my Lord, hotel in San Francisco for 10 of us. Us, when I say us, those of us who know that you are among the blessed few. You know that your place is to be among the powerful and the protected class. We are going to have time, like dedicated time to go into the way that you're writing, particularly for those of us who are marketing online. Okay, so we're gonna have like hardcore business time, okay? To go into the way that you're writing, to look at the life that you're living now, the way you're asserting power, where it is you need to clean up and tighten up. And it's going to be a great opportunity for you to meet others from wherever they're going to come from, because you just never know. And to really leverage environments. Remember, I talked about earlier this week during one of the shows about being fed by our environments. We are going to be in this 5-star opulent place. Christmas, the week before Christmas in San Francisco. I mean, if you even care about the whole Christmas part, maybe that's just me. But I know what it looks like. I've been to this hotel before for Christmas. It's gorgeous. It's opulent. So we get to harness the spirit of wealth and opulence, because your vision has the spirit of wealth and opulence, right? The spirit of change, of transformation, of colossalness. So this is very intentional that I'm hosting this here. And who we are requires this kind of opulent. It makes me think about why opulent living was so important. A lot of people thought opulent living was about diamonds, and opulent living, for those of you who don't know, is a former brand of mine. And a lot of people thought it was just about material decadence. And yes, I most certainly love material decadence, but it was not hardly about material decadence. It was about a spirit of plenty, being able to tap into the allness that you and I were born as, and streaming that into what it is that we create. Take the allness, put it in your vision. Take the allness, put it in the way you hire. Take the allness, put it in the way you package your products and services. Take the allness, put it into your relationships. Take the allness, put it into the way you decorate your house, live your life, engage with people, your expectations, your standards. That's what opulent living was all about. That's what this time, December 20th, is all about. It's about harnessing the spirit of plenty while also looking at the third dimensional elements that you will be engaging in, whether that's how you're going to be on video, how to create powerful content for video, how to create powerful written content, how to be able to command stages, how to be able to still sell powerfully from stages. That's what this December 20th is about. And for us to have a really, really good time, right? We require good times. This is not just about doing, working. This is also about harnessing the goodness, the richness, the exquisiteness of what's available to us here already, here on planet Earth. So we're gonna have time from 5 to about 8-ish to have this real focus time. And then thereafter, we're going to have our own exclusive VIP bar inside of the suite to have cocktails, sit back, kick up our feet, and really start to have more intimate conversations about what it's like to be us, what we truly, truly see for our visions, what we're truly disturbed by, having these level 10 conversations about what's going on in our lives, conversations that we will never have here on YouTube, conversations that we can never have via email, conversations that we can kind of have over the phone, but the kind of conversations that when all the walls come down and we are belly to belly, eye to eye, heart to heart, we can be, I cannot wait. I'm so excited for this, for us to be in this space in San Francisco, in this 5-star suite at the Fairmont Hotel. That's where we're gonna be, the Fairmont Hotel. And I just feel so honored and happy and just so deeply grateful, so deeply grateful. 2019 is going to be an explosive year. I can feel it. Can you feel it? I mean, like, it's already like, right, with everything that's happening in the world right now, all the newness, right? We have over 100 women in Congress in the United States. There's such a shakedown and everything is open for possibility. And I'm telling you, the spirit of plenty, the spirit of creation, the spirit of what's navigating all worlds, because there's multiple dimensions here. The spirits that are navigating the world of the powerful and the protected. The permission is here. The permission is here. The permission, from my experience, was not here even just 3 years ago. There has been a tipping point in this dimension sometime in the last, I want to say 6 months. There's been a tipping point and there's been a breaking. There's so much money. There's so much money available now that all you need to do is declare who it is that you are and really stand in that. With such truth, such knowing, you stand in that. Let the earthquake that is inevitable, there will be an earthquake. There will be multiple earthquakes that will happen around you. Your job, I'll be there, I'm finishing up the show. Your job is to stand strong in who you know that you know that you know that you are. And all the hurricanes and the volcanoes around you and the noises and all of that will do its thing. And it has done its thing for years. It's been my experience, it's been the experience of everybody who I know who has been fighting to return to the truth of who they are. And so your job, and this is the work that we do, and this is why us together is required. This I know with absolute certainty. Oh, there's some things that are kind of, sort of. There are many things that are debatable, can be negotiated. This cannot be negotiated. So learning to stand firmly rooted while the earthquakes are happening, while focusing on what it is that you are born to birth, calling in the massive amounts of money, calling in the team, calling in everything that would be required for you to call in. And I don't know that. Only you know that. That is your blueprint. That is what is available for us now. The permission is here now. And everything that is required, oh God, this is what I mean by the laws that govern the powerful and the protected. Everything that is required, everything that you are required to become. Like, if there's any part of you that's like, well, I don't know, who am I? What was it? Any holes that you have right now will be filled when you walk through the door and make the decision of reclaiming who it is that you were born as. Okay? So, I feel a sneeze coming. Excuse me. So, the admission for December 20th in San Francisco at this esteemed event is $500. That's it, $500 for this time together to do this work that I've discussed. There will be a site up for this about a week and a half-ish. In the meantime, if you know this is for you, send an email to Naima at naimasingletary.com and we will get you registered. Remember, the space is limited to 10, okay? And that is like, at first I was thinking 8 and I was like, we can do 10. So 10 is the absolute maximum. I will not be able to add more than 10, okay? So this is December 20th. We start at 5 p.m. in the late afternoon. And admission is $500. And so that's that. Also, remember, for those of you who already know that you know that you know that you're looking for a long-term relationship, There is the opportunity for you to come in at the year-long level. Remember, I started talking about this, I think, on Monday, where we're going to be meeting once a week per quarter in 2019 in 4 different places: Positano, Italy; Saint-Tropez, France; Sicily, Italy; and the Maldives, right? Again, harnessing the gorgeousness, the beauty, and the spirit of what each of these destinations has to offer. And really getting closer. When I say getting closer, I mean getting closer to who it is that you are. Because remember, this is a long-term game. This is a long-term game. And you will have things that will come in to refine you. And we are in this long-term relationship, which frankly, I was even considering making it 2 years, because I'm aware, since I've committed myself to growing up, which was in 2011, it was a weaker decision. It was the decision, but it was a weaker decision. And year after year after year, I've had to recommit. I know how much of a long game that this is. So even with you coming in on December 20th, or you even coming at a year-long level, that is barely the tip of the iceberg. So send an email to Naima@NaimaSingletary.com. Any questions that you have, and the year long is $75,000. That investment is $75,000. Okay. Any questions that you have, any concerns, like genuine terror concerns, right? Like if you find yourself, your heart beating really fast, this is a very good thing, by the way. If you find yourself, can't sleep because of what it is that you're hearing from me and what's moving through your body, don't let that stop you. Message me and tell me that. Say, Naima, this is what's going on, and yet also let me know what you see for yourself. What is your desire? What is it that you know that you know that you know? What have you been born with? What downloads have you gotten? I don't care if you know that it's going to cost you $10 million and you never even made $1 million, do not let that get in the way. What's most important is that you lean into what you know, because that's where the protection is, where you become among the powerful and the protected class, where you feel all this and yet you know, and you give yourself over to what it is that you know in the face of doubt and fear and whatever else could be moving through you, okay? This is a big, long game. Everything that is required is here for you. The door is here, the permission is here. Your job is to tap into what it is that you know and to lean into that. So if you have doubt about working over here with me, then I'm not the one. You come here with me when you know. Remember, I talked about this on Wednesday. There's thinking and feeling and believing and wondering, then there's knowing. You contact me when you know. That is the power that I dwell in, knowing, okay? So, wow, what a freaking show, just like every other show. So I will be back here. The show is Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Europe time. And I'm going to be talking about this on every show. My attention is on those who are ready to meet in person and get off of this internet thing that separates us on some level, and are really ready to get into an exclusive, high vibrational, gorgeous, scratch gorgeous, opulent. The Fairmont at the top of the hill in San Francisco is opulent. And so I'm so delighted to give attention to detail in this space. You have no idea. I have had retreats in Saint-Tropez in the south of France. I've had events in London, in Milan, in San Francisco, where else? Paris. And it is always such a joy for me to give attention to the detail of creating a rich and opulent environment, not only for you, but me too. So I look forward to returning to San Francisco. That's where I'm born and raised, by the way. If you didn't know that, I was born and raised there. And us having such a rich, transformative time where, because of how powerful we are, speed happens. So that which you've been thinking about, replaying in your head for years, struggling with, wondering about, it literally gets zapped and transformed rapidly. And you leave the room. You're going to leave this room. Listen, this is something you must know already. I don't even have to, right? For the person who this is for, you already know. So I'm out of here. Happy Friday. I'm here in Italy. And I got a beautiful bottle of Barolo. Barolo is an exquisite wine here in Italy. So I look forward to popping that, perhaps having some time with my neighbor. Anyway, I'm grateful. I'm excited. And again, email Naima at naimasingletary.com. The email is below this video. With any questions you have about either coming to San Francisco December 20th or the year-long starting next year. And that's it for now. Thank you so much for being here. Share this video. Share this video, share this video, share this video. And I look forward to returning next Monday. Same time, same place. God bless you. Lots of love. Bye-bye.